Alright guys, we got a Alienware M11x R2. I'm going to be doing kind of a review to show you um, the ups and downs of it after using it for about 3 months now. So I'm still using the sleeve that it came in. I like it a lot. It's got a great finish on the inside of it, and I think it does a pretty good job of keeping it clean. So let me get it out of here. Alright, so first thing you can see, the top stays pretty clean. People say that it gets fingerprints pretty easily. You can certainly try and put some on there, and you'll get some on there every now and then. Little microfiber cloth actually works perfect. Some people say use soap, water. Microfiber cloth works fine. One thing I have noticed, I don't know if you can see this, I got these two marks, one right here on the end, and the other one right there. You can see it's kind of a square. I'm not really sure what it is, and it doesn't wipe off like a fingerprint, and it keeps coming back. So you guys can leave in the comments what you guys think those are. So before I even turn it on, one of the things I want to say that I love about this is it has a powered USB port that you can actually use without even turning the laptop on. So we'll open this up and hold on. Plug this guy in. Ta-da! And it's charging. This is great if you've got it in your bag in class. You just haul the cord out of it. No worries about turning it on. So that's that. And let's open it up. After using it for a while, you can see one of the things that I like about a laptop is that the lid actually opens on its own. You don't have to hold the base of it to be able to open it. The base doesn't come up with it. And let's get it back up here. Now, one of the things that this did, right now you can see it has my face. Hello. It'll work pretty well if I stop moving to log me in, so I'm not going to do that just yet. It actually switched over to a blurry mode at some point for some reason, and I felt like it didn't work quite as well. So you can see if I actually move my face in front of it, logs me in, and I haven't really had any problems with it at all. One thing after using it for a while, I found NVIDIA doesn't really include this in a lot of their driver updates. I have the newest drivers for it that'll display what Optimus is using here, but if you just try and download the drivers, it's not going to work. I had to get a couple files here. You guys can find tutorials on how to do this. I won't talk about that. After using it for a while, you can see the keyboard does not really have any fingerprints on it. That was one thing I was worried about, was kind of the awesome finish coming off of the keyboard. I don't use the alien lights too much. I'll turn them on. Ta-da! So they were pretty good. I usually leave them off. So right now we can do some quick benchmarks. I can show you how well it runs just with everything off right now. And it's not going to let us connect, so some other time. And one of the things that I've noticed after a while is it doesn't really get too hot. The only time I would say it gets hot to the point where you might want to have it sitting on a book when it's sitting on your lap is when you're overclocking and with the GPU on. So it never really gets too hot, especially if you're just having it sit on a table. I never worry about heat issues. Running temperature tests doesn't show it getting up very high. Alright guys, so I'm not going to show you any games. I've got StarCraft and World of Warcraft on here. I can tell you that they run great. I've got the i7 version, and there's plenty of other videos out there that you guys can watch that show benchmarks. This is really just kind of an overview of the laptop as a whole after using it for a while. One of the things about the R1 a lot of people complained with was hinge issues. There's still a little gap in the R2, but I don't know. It's never really bothered me. Sit back, you look at it, don't really even see it. One of the things I have noticed is that you're not going to be able to see it here, and I've been protecting against it, but I usually have to keep my microfiber cloth over my keyboard right here because this spot on my screen actually touches my keyboard, and I'll get oil marks all over. Not everybody has this issue. Some builds don't have problem touching the keyboard at all. Some people it touches up there, some people it touches down there. So keeping a microfiber cloth, I keep it with it anyway to kind of wipe off fingerprints from everything. One of the big things people don't like about the screen is the super glossy screen. You can see right now, my room's pretty well lit right now. And you can see my reflection pretty well, especially if the screen's off. You can see it really well. Sometimes there's times when it bothers me. Sometimes, most of the times, it doesn't bother me at all. You can purchase some matte screen covers to kind of blur it all out, which I guess some people like. I don't know, I'm kind of iffy about putting a giant screen cover on it. I think having bubbling in corners and things like that is worse than having a glossy screen. So that is pretty much it. One thing, the power cord, I don't know why Dell did this, but you can see the power cord when you plug it in, it's kind of like this L, so when your cord's hanging, it doesn't hang like a straight line. It kind of is really awkward. Here, let me show you real quick. So this is what the power cord looks like. It just kind of makes for an awkward cord laying across your room. I feel like it could have gotten an extra 6 inches if they just ran the cord straight out. But again, not a big deal. Definitely think it was worth the money. After using it for a couple months, battery life, I found that if I'm browsing the web, things like that, I'll generally get around 4 hours of battery life. And gaming puts me between 2 and 3. By web browsing, that's pretty YouTube heavy, videos, things like that. One thing I have found since I have the new drivers is that when watching YouTube HD videos, it does not use the discrete graphics, which I think is pretty cool. The integrated graphics are powerful enough to run HD graphics. And inadvertently, when I first installed StarCraft 2, it didn't run as well as I thought it should, and I had to turn down all of the graphics, and I found that it was actually running unintegrated. And for people that want to know, you can actually run StarCraft 2 at very good frame rates on integrated graphics if you turn the settings all the way down, which, I don't know, I would never do it. Some people might. I think it's kind of cool that the integrated graphics can do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything you guys want to see, shoot me a comment down below. Thanks.